Right now at noon, why a man accused of dumping a body behind a Beloit school will not be charged. Plus, an investigation is underway for a former Beloit officer accused of sexually assaulting a child. And what President Trump is saying about the historic meeting between him and North Korean President Kim Jong-un.
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Tuesday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit. But first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. A little muggy this morning.
It is muggy, and the cloud cover out there has been tough to break. By yesterday, we thought a lot of this cloud cover would be out here, but it is still sticking around. I want to go ahead and show you guys visible cloud track for the past 3 hours. Notice we've had a little bit of some thinning cloud cover over Madison at times, but back across the west, we do have thicker cloud cover that's going to be rotating right back in to town. That's going to keep temperatures at least a little bit cooler as we go throughout the day. Here's a live look outside right now, looking towards the west. You see the cloud cover. You see the dreariness out there. No rain coming out of those clouds right now, but we are tracking some rain chances overnight. This is going to be mainly between midnight and sunrise that we do get the best rain chances in here. I want to go ahead and show you all how the rest of the afternoon should play out here. Can't rule out a spotty shower or two. With the cloud cover around, it'll probably keep our temperatures a little bit on the cooler side. Anyone under some sunshine could see 80 degrees for those highs later on. Then 3 o'clock, that's when the best rain chance moves in here. By tomorrow, though, I do think, Mark, we will see some true sunshine returning into the picture. But for today, these clouds have been really pesky.
And less humidity, perhaps, tomorrow.
Less humidity is expected tomorrow. It's a nice little cold front coming through. It'll give us a breath of fresh air before the weekend, and we'll be talking about that one. Some alert days in there.
Heard about the weekend. Yep. We'll get to that in a bit. Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
Topping the news today, no legal action will be taken against a man arrested in May in connection with the death of a person whose body was found behind an elementary school. The town of Beloit Police Department arrested 26-year-old Corey Sandoval of New Mexico after getting a call about a suspicious death on May 19th. The body of 29-year-old Dustin Grice of Beloit was found behind the Townview Elementary School. Officials say they believe the death was related to a drug overdose. Rock County District Attorney David O'Leary told News 3 his office will not be taking action against Sandoval because, quote, it could not prove criminal intent. The Beloit Police Department is continuing to investigate after a former patrol officer is arrested for sexual assault of a child. The Beloit Police Department says 62-year-old Larry Woods was taken into custody on Saturday. He is accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old female. Woods is retired as a patrol officer from the police department in 2007. Officers say he's been working as a security guard with the school district of Beloit and the Beloit Public Library. He's been placed on administrative leave.
Youth are reluctant to come forward, especially when there's sexual allegations that are alleged. But certainly our department takes those things very seriously. We handle them very professionally, and we'll.
Police say Woods is expected to be arraigned in Rock County Court later today. Lafayette County deputies are investigating after one person was taken into the hospital after a two-vehicle crash. Deputies responded around 5:25 last night to a two-vehicle crash with injuries at the intersection of Truman Road and Bethel Grove Road in Kendall Township. Deputies say 50-year-old Tamara Halverson of Gratiot was driving east when 51-year-old Timothy Meyer of Cuba City failed to yield the right-of-way and pulled forward into the intersection, hitting Halverson's vehicle on the driver's side. Halverson was trapped in the vehicle and had to be extricated. She was eventually taken to UW Hospital by MedFlight. Meyer refused medical treatment. President Trump is on his way home from Singapore, where he agreed to a deal with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to begin the process of denuclearizing the Korean peninsula. Nikki Batiste has more.
President Trump and Kim Jong-un's historic meeting led to this moment.
The letter that we're signing is very comprehensive, and I think both sides are going to be very impressed with the result.
The two leaders signed a document which they say will lead to a denuclearized Korean peninsula.
We also agreed to vigorous negotiations to implement the agreement as soon as possible. and he wants to do that.
The details of how and when North Korea will abandon its nuclear program have not been worked out, and there is no language on how to verify they will comply. Meanwhile, President Trump has agreed to end what he calls war games with South Korea.
We have right now 32,000 soldiers in South Korea, and I'd like to be able to bring them back home.
The president has said more meetings will need to happen in order to implement these agreements, and he's invited Kim Jong-un to the White House at some point in the future.
I think it's really going to be something that will be very important, and he has accepted. I said at the appropriate time. We want to go a little bit further down the road.
But there is some doubt the North Koreans will follow through with their promise. They've made these kinds of deals before, only to later renege.
Today is the beginning of an arduous process. Our eyes are wide open, but peace is always worth the effort, especially in this case.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is now headed to South Korea and China to brief their leaders on the negotiations. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, the White House.
And the North Koreans also agreed to return the remains of American service members lost in North Korea during the Korean War. A man killed himself and 4 children he took hostage in Orlando. Police say Gary Lindsay Jr. killed his 2 children and his girlfriend's 2 children before taking his own life Monday night. Investigators say Lindsay barricaded himself inside an apartment Sunday night following a domestic dispute with his girlfriend. They had direct and indirect contact with him until 9 p.m. Monday, when SWAT officers entered the home and found Lindsay and the children deceased. Police say Lindsay also shot a police officer during the hostage situation. He was a convicted felon. Hundreds of migrants and refugees who've been crammed onto a rescue ship since the weekend will soon be sailing to Spain. Italian authorities are sending in 2 ships to help bring more than 600 stranded migrants to Spanish shores after refusing to let them into Italy. Italy's new anti-immigration interior minister says the country is done bending over backwards to help refugees. Spain's new prime minister says his country opened its doors to avoid a human catastrophe. A new drone ordinance may change the way you use your drone within Madison city limits. New legislation passed in April says local governments must follow the rules of the state. The ordinance proposed by the Madison City Council members mirrors state law, meaning if you violate the law, you could see some steep fines. Misuse can be anything from using a drone to invade someone's privacy, which is a $500 fine. Unlawful flying and or landing of an aircraft is a $750 fine. Using the drone as a weapon can bring fines up to $2,000. Some argue city officials still wouldn't have the authority to issue citations. The proposal will be brought forward at the public safety meeting tomorrow. Well, there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you're in the mood for dessert but don't feel like baking, then stick around. You know, this is the time of year when we're craving something homemade, but we really don't feel like baking. Well, if that sounds like you, then you're gonna love the no-bake dessert we're making today. And since it's super easy, this is a great one to have your kids or even your grandchildren help you with. All we do is pour half a small can of frozen lemonade concentrate into a bowl, along with some sweetened condensed milk and some whipped topping. We give that a good stir until it's mixed really well. You see, as the lemonade reacts with the sweetened condensed milk, it thickens up, and the whipped topping makes this summery light. Now, we spoon this into a few graham cracker tart shells. And you can find these in the baking aisle right next to the pre-made pie crusts. Then into the fridge these go to chill up, and they're ready to serve. Maybe top them off with a few fresh berries, and it's summer at its best. You see, with each bite, you get the creaminess of a cheesecake with the tartness of lemonade. Since this is so amazing, I really do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our no-bake lemonade cheesecakes, so you can enjoy a homemade dessert without ever turning on your oven. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a refreshing way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. Still ahead on News 3 at noon, a muggy and gloomy Tuesday afternoon. Meteorologist Chris Reese has your first alert forecast when we come back. Taking a look at Wall Street at the noon hour, the Dow Industrial is up a point, the NASDAQ up 45. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yonke's out of the radio barn today, so here are your egg numbers. Time now for the weather. Chris, is here kind of a gray day.
It is a gray day. I thought we'd see a little bit more sunshine, but sometimes the cloud cover, it's just pesky. But
mind of its own.
There is some sunshine on tap, so we'll keep that going. I'm wearing the yellow today just to kind of hope that, you know, it'll encourage the sun will come out, especially by the time we get you towards your Wednesday. Here's a live look at the Edgewater right now. You see the cloud cover, you see the dreariness. Temperatures are pretty warm, though. We're at 75 degrees right now, so that is good news. Dew points are in the upper 60s, 67 your dew point. So as you step out, you're going to feel that air right now. Temperatures still across southern Wisconsin are pretty much into the lower 70s, 74 over in Watertown. You get out towards the west, temperatures are a little bit cooler. Viroqua at 67, Decorah at 68. We do have more in the way of some cloud covers. You work your way back towards the west. Across the, nearest 500 miles, temperatures are pretty much all in the 60s and 70s. Let's go ahead and show you guys the cloud cover the past 3 hours. Across eastern Wisconsin, you've seen a lot of the cloud cover try to thin out at times. You work your way back to the west. Here's where the thicker cloud cover is. It's that thicker cloud cover that's really going to be moving into town as we go through the next couple hours or so. That's going to keep temperatures cooler. How much rain do we see out of these clouds? Not much initially, but as we go overnight through the next 12 hours, then from 7 o'clock tonight to 7 o'clock tomorrow, we do see some rain chances, especially between midnight and sunrise. No rain out there now other than the few showers that came through portions of Grant and Crawford counties. They were very light. They fell apart rather quickly, but as we go through the rest of this afternoon, we'll see temperatures making it to about 67, and if you blinked, you missed it there. I forgot to put the pause points on, but we do have those rain chances coming in overnight. By the time we get you towards sunrise on Wednesday, the good news is we should see some sunshine. Keep your fingers crossed for the midweek sunshine coming into the picture. What we've got going on is a cold front that'll swing on through. Pay attention to this region of high pressure as we get you into Wednesday. That moves very close to southern Wisconsin. That is going to keep the sunshine around. Your midweek should be absolutely beautiful. But as this works its way to the south and east, you have a warm front coming in and southwesterly wind. This is where the heat and the humidity come back into the picture. So we're going to be watching those temperatures trend upward, especially as we go through the next towards days. Check out 10 days. Check out the weekend. We see temperatures approaching 90 degrees. That will be a sizzler of a day. We'll also have a lot of humidity in the picture towards that one. So if you do have weekend plans or you're thinking about what to do for the weekend, go ahead and get those water park activities planned for you, because you are certainly going to want to stay hydrated as you can. 77 degrees will be our high this afternoon. If you see some sunshine, some folks could see temperatures approaching the 80-degree mark. I do think under the sunshine, a lot of us will reach 80 for tomorrow. The rain chances arriving Thursday night into Friday. Then your alert days come on Saturday and Sunday. What you've actually got going is a warm front with those rain chances on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, whew, they do look a little toasty. I may be from Texas, but I promise I am trying to get away from the heat. I think it wants to follow me right now. Sometimes it's just hard to get away from. Additional rain chances do come as we get you towards the end of the next 10 days as well. But the big focus for the weekend is going to be those warm temperatures and that humidity.
And humidity.
Yes.
Great.
I mean, take it or leave
what
it.
What can you do? Yeah, it's June.
Mother Nature does what nature does.
Enjoy the respite today.
Yes.
There you go. All right, Chris, thank you.
No problem.
There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, Dr. Jim Orvik from the Oregon Vet Clinic is here to answer your pet questions. The number to call, 270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after this. Dr. Jim Orvik from the Oregon Vet Clinic is here to answer your pet questions. 270-9933, the number to call. Good to see you again.
Good to be
Boy,
here.
are the bugs bad.
They are bad.
And that's bad news for our pets.
Yeah, us too. I mean,
Yeah.
mosquitoes and gnats and ticks. I pulled one off my neck a couple days ago. So keep the control on the pets. There are many different kinds, and some you can do every 3 months or once a month or every day, but do something through this season.
And the heartworm, that's...
Yes, heartworms, I mean, the mosquitoes are the source, and they inject those larvae in there. One thing, if you give it once a month, mostly, and if you miss a month, it's not too big of a deal because it takes 6 months for that little larva to grow into a heartworm.
I do it the first of the month. That's why I turn the calendar and they get their medications. All right, let's go to the phones. We will start with Sue in Beaver Dam. Hi, Sue.
Hi. I have a 80-pound white German Shepherd, and he's a rescue. He's about 9. He started coughing, and now he's starting to snort a little bit and snore in his sleep. Do I need to see a veterinarian? He's eating and drinking just like normal.
How long has that been going on?
The coughing's been going on. He always coughs 3 times.
Yeah.
Ever since I got him about a year ago.
Oh, and then the sneezing and the rest of it?
Just started yesterday.
Oh. Well, with that, I would give it a little time before you need to take it to the vet. This 3 times cough, I'm not sure what to think about that. If it's done it for a year and it's just always been the same, it could be habit or something else. As long as he's got good stamina, he doesn't get out of breath easy, I'm not too worried. But if other respiratory things start and don't go away, then for sure he needs to be seen.
Could be allergies, maybe?
Well, sure. I mean, she's had him for 1 year, so it's hard to say.
It could be a spring, summer
thing. Could be sneezing like me right now.
A little summer cold.
Yes.
Let's go to Ron in Janesville. Hi, Ron. What's your question?
Hi, I saved bones for the neighbor's dog. I was wondering, barbecued rib bones, if the barbecue sauce would bother the dog.
Well, yes and no. I mean, bones are a lot of good marrow in there.
But cooked bones could be a problem, right? They can splinter up?
Well, yes. Any dog can get into trouble with bones. The main thing I saw in practice with bones is they'd eat a whole bunch of them, and then when they got to the rectum, they'd turn to cement, and you'd have to go in and dig them out. Not so many punctured holes in intestines from splinters and things like that, but it could happen. So.
And the barbecue sauce, a lot of sugar in there. That could be fat. That could be fattening.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Terry in Sun Prairie. Terry.
I am trying to see how I get my dog to stop licking his front paws. He's got them all sore. We've tried Benadryl. We put Mr. Yuck on him. I put Corday 10 on him.
What kind of dog?
Jack Russell Terrier.
How old?
14.
Oh, how has it always done this, or?
More so this year.
More this year. Well, it could be an allergy. It could be something, an infection or something in those toes. Is he outside a lot?
No, he's gone.
Oh. Well,
I'll get him checked out if he's starting to make sores on it.
If he's making sores and you can't get him to stop with normal.
Could be allergies.
Things. Well,
all right,
definitely.
we are out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. Doctor will talk to you off there. We'll see you next month. Chris has one final check of the forecast.
That's right. We'll see clouds around for a lot of the afternoon. Temperatures topping out in the upper 70s to around 80. Shower chances do arrive, especially overnight before sunshine should take over for your Wednesday. That's due to high pressure taking control behind the cold front that's moving in overnight. The thing is, by the time we get you towards the end of the week, there is heat and humidity.
And lots of it. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching.